Now here with more space engineers, and yes, we have been doing a little bit of work on the ship. Just a little bit. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on right now. Okay, so haven't really made any changes here. We did go ahead and add in the additional batteries, and as you can tell, everything is mostly dead at this point. I've still got 12 hours charge in here, so not worried too much about it. So let's actually go in this way, and we're gonna head up. Now you'll notice we have more of a wall here. Let's get that in there, and we have some glowing light, because what we did is we went ahead and put in the computer nooks on both sides. So I went ahead, got the stairs finished going up on both sides, and then we came back through, put the computer nodes in. So we actually have 6 programmable blocks, 3 on port, 3 on starboard. And then what I did is I left the space under them open, and down below this guy right here is a light, and that's giving us that nice, PC monitor glow. And we have that on both sides. I've also cleaned up the stairs coming up to the upper level. So we actually carry the theme that we have, where we have the ramps on the side, stairs in the middle. We carry that up. That is on both sides now. And we made this like a little landing so that if somebody needs to be working on something on the programmable blocks, you basically leave enough room for other players to get around you. We have added in the overlook for the hangar space. We have this on both sides. I actually went ahead and normalized all of the walls and everything so that this is actually even. What that means for the area looking over is that, yes, it is a little bit more noticeable that the gravity generator is off to one side, but there's not a whole lot we can do with it, unfortunately, because it is a odd number of blocks on an even number build. So is what it is, but that's fine. Everything else worked out, and I mean, worst case scenario, I can always hide this somewhere. Or if I really, really want to, I can load that mod which takes the large grid blocks and makes them actually small grid equivalent. So since this is one block large on a large grid, there is a mod that'll take this and make it a 1 block small grid. And we're going to take that back for now because we don't know what we're going to end up with on this portion. So this area I'm leaving open right now, mainly because of the fact that, like I just said, I'm not really sure what we're going to do with the actual hangar space. It's very possible that this wall may come up and then bulge out or just get wrapped in. And if it does that, I don't think I'm going to have, well, I may leave some windows here looking down the hallway. But I'm not sure. Okay. Other than that, we've gone ahead and put in the hangar floor. We're using the blast door blocks, obviously. Back here we have, was that 6 blocks for walk space? Basically just making sure all of this matches up with where we need it to be. And then on both sides, we actually have the stairs coming up into the hallways. Now, the other thing that we have done, and you probably have seen it now a couple of times, is we've started putting in cargo systems. So because of the fact that we're talking about basically flipping the script on this ship, so this will actually be the aft portion and that'll be forward. I figured we'd put the cargo area back in where the primary habitation, well, not so much habitation, but controls and player area is going to be located. And we did that for a couple of different reasons. One of them is that it helps us keep all of the mass better situated in the ship. And because we're going with the medium cargo back here, that means that we can actually do large cargo up on the what's probably going to end up being Mandibles, which will allow us to better maintain our inventory balances as well. All right, so because of the fact that we have, let's go in here really quick. But because of the fact that we punched a hole in the ship here for these guys to be fed through, and I still don't know if I'm gonna put a pipe in there or not. I think I'm going to, actually, even though it doesn't need to be there. Oh no, you know what we can do? We'll do this. 2, 3, yeah. And then Bob can weld that up when he catches up to us there. Okay, and then that hides all of that. All of this is pressure, can be sealed. The forward hallway, oh, I guess that hallway can be sealed. Both of the entry ramps can be sealed, as can habitation areas. So, what we're gonna do is, I'm thinking, so yeah, the other thing before I forget, we've gone ahead and put the doors in, the gate, in the manner that we were wanting to get it in. I just had to remove the hangar floor, or the landing pad floor, until we can get this thing fully built out. And the benefit is, or I should say the detractant is, if you notice, this thing hangs down significantly below where the entrance ramps are, which makes it a problem. I may have to move this up 1 block. So the idea is I wanted this area to be no higher than the floor of the cockpit area of the controls bridge. What are you doing? Our solar script seems to be like completely flipping out over there. But basically I didn't want to have the bridge come up higher than, or so much above, so it was more of a fly bridge. But I think that if we're going to keep the orientation on the doors that we've got here, I think we're going to have to. I think this is going to have to come up a block or two. Because right now, this piece, let's go, is 1, 2. Okay, so that's 5 blocks to the ground, and then that's another 2 blocks. Alright. So that's 7 blocks total. 8 blocks from this position. Alright, so from here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. And then this is actually coming down another 2 blocks past. So what this is going to mean is that the ramps are actually going to have to come down a bit. Which is not an issue, actually. It just means we may have to move them back 1 or 2 lines. So for every block that it's coming down, it's probably going to move forward 1. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll definitely have to take a look at that. And like I said, it's honestly fine. I'm not that worried about it. Because if it comes down like 2 or 3 blocks, that gives us that much more room underneath everything to basically hide all of our conveyors and such. So, that being said, what I'll probably do is a combination of things. I'm thinking those will come down at least 1, maybe 2 blocks. If so, they'll also shift forward like a block or so. And then this comes up 1 or 2 blocks. Let's see here. Let's go like this. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn ourselves so we can see. How about that? How many blocks is that? That is 1, 2 blocks. 3 if we count that one, which means that bridge will need to come up at least 2 blocks more. Which is fine because then I guess that actually does work. Because what we'll end up with then is something that's going to come out. Let's go 3 up. Here, 3 in. So something that comes up to there-ish. How far down does that? The bottom clear now. So technically the bottom clears the pad by what looks like about the same amount as the entry ramps. So then we just have to bring the entry ramp down. Yeah, we'll still bring the entry ramp down 2, probably shift it aft 1 block, maybe 2 blocks. We should be able to leave everything else there. And that becomes more of a collar looking thing on the bottom. And we just armor the whole thing up, which is actually good. Yeah, I think that's actually going to work. All right. So I would love to have the ability in this game to move, like lock something in position and move it. Is that it? No, that's where it was. And there? Yes. Okay, that'll work. That should work nicely. Yeah, I am tempted to move it down 1, but I do actually like having it so that you can't just accidentally walk off into space. I don't. Okay, to be completely honest and fair, I would actually like it to be down low enough that you could walk off into space. But if nothing else, this gives people who are defending the ship a place to hide behind. Lay down some suppression fire while ships are coming in or out. You know. Hey, I have to justify it somehow, right? Anyway, okay, so that gets us with where we're mostly caught up at this point, I think. Reactor room. So the question then becomes, do we want to make the area up here power or cargo? I think we're going to go cargo up here. There you go. So So let's drop that for this moment. Okay, so if we go, we're going to go I like the idea of having, let's go something like that maybe. Okay, so there's 3 connectors. So if we go down and sideways, yeah, I think that'll work. Alright, so if we go, I'm almost tempted to do that. Because if we go with it on the offset, what we can do is we can actually put Bob up here. We'll have one on that side. And you would pass only room entry things through. But are you in line? Yeah. So we could have Bob on one side. We run the conveyors out and down into a larger conveyor run down underneath or on top. Probably on top. Yeah, I think we can make that work. Why is that? Oh, that would be why. Okay, that was weird. Did the system forget about us? I mean, there's nothing. Alright, I'm not in cheat mode of any kind. Alright. You never know, because I do have saves where I am in creative mode. This is not one of them, obviously. And space engineers being space engineers sometimes does weird things, but considering I've been taking damage all bloody day, maybe space engineers just gave up. It's just been running too long. Oh, let's see. It's only been running for a couple hours, right? Yeah, hour and a half ish. Not too bad. Anyway, so yeah, what I was saying here is basically have this guy have these guys piped in, and I'm thinking have it come up off the side, or loop over, and then come back this way. If I take it underneath, is there any place that I can actually, I should be able to run it through here. I'd have to put a collar on it to bring it out one. All right, so let's take a look here really quick. Those are all large grid. We need medium conveyors, which means we're basically on these guys. So you'd have to have a conveyor frame into the tube. And then that comes back, basically just comes straight back like that. And then you're going to be at least one frame on both of these. And that would put us flush there. Let's go. Like I said, we are going to end up with armor on this thing. That'll get us flush with the armor layer if we only do one layer of heavy armor. Which may not be a bad idea, because what I could end up doing is encasing this basically as a bulkhead area. Or for those who are familiar with the term castle. So if we designate this as castle space, just meaning that it's heavily armored, we'd have 2 layers of heavy armor that this thing would basically poke out of. And then you have a downward turn. You have a downward turn. We'll probably end up with this stuff being completely encapsulated. Basically, we'll wrap whatever the armor is. We'll build an area in here, basically just like a conduit chase, and then style around that. But that does mean we're going to need to bring this thing, let's bring that forward. Rotate you around, grab you, and of course this is going to be a pain in the backside to remember to reproduce this on the other side. All right, so you're going to come down one, you're going to come down one. You're offset by 1 block. Alright, so you're coming in. You're coming in. Let's see how close we can get this. So yes, you're down 1. Alright, so if we go there, there. How far off are you? You're not off by that far, actually. Okay, so you have those frames, and then I guess we'll have to come in from the bottom of one of these guys. Which means we're gonna need to rotate somebody out, because we're gonna put connectors here. This will drop down a bit, however far we need it to drop down, and put a connector on it. So can I go see the connectors or the conveyor junctions? There's small ones on only 2 faces, and so I mean, I guess as long as it's connected through on the other side, it's all that really matters. Because you're not actually connected to anything other than this portion. You're connected through, which pipes through to here, which also pipes through to there. Which all pipes through to there. Yeah, one floor. Okay, so I guess what we're gonna have to do then is to make this work. We're going to need, let's take you out. We'll leave the ring because we're gonna need the ring. All this comes out. And I'll show you why. Because what we're going to do is we're going to grab this, since it's coming through. It's going to drop down, run the length of this. And see if we can get it to match up. What are you missing? So if we run it from the side, it's off by one space. It's one block too high. If we run it through the bottom, we can actually use the rings, the spacers, to get this up or down as we need to. And we just end up with, maybe put a junction box somewhere in here so that we end up with, come here you, say something like this. So if we go like that, swing you out, so if we want you to be patched in there, you are down one frame. So yeah, everything's gonna have, we're gonna have to drop that down one frame in order to make that work. Okay, so no, you come down a frame to there. And you come over a frame. Here, and you come over a frame. There you go. And that gets us piped in. And then we'll have basically the same on the other side. We just haven't gotten to that point yet. And then This would allow us to have, let's go ahead and do this. If we do that, hi, that was what I said. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? Will you not do that, please? It's like, yeah, we'll attach just the way you want, except for the fact that we're not going to attach the way that you want. Did you attach that time? No. All right, you're gonna be a pain in the backside, aren't you? You know what? I'm going to go grab the parts for this. And we're going to build it. We're going to see which way it goes. Let's go grab some power really quick. Because I have to admit, that thing is kind of irritating the hell out of me right in a second. Alright, so let's drop off all that stuff. No computers left? Yeah, no computers left, huh? Alright, so we'll let the computers continue to run. And let's go ahead and jump in here, grab a little power while we're waiting. There you go. Won't be too long. Just grab this stuff. All components are withdrawn. Okay. Because if this guy is not lining up the way he's supposed to be lining up, that is really irritating. Okay, and you grab this really quick. We'll see if everything is actually welded up down here. Yep, everything is welded to that point, so we should be okay to grab some things. Hopefully. Come on. Are you kidding me? Sheesh. All right. And you are turned the wrong way for that. Because you are large on the bottom. Okay. So let's go large cargo. All right. And assembler. Okay, so we can move things through. That's important, which means that will work. For now, though, we are going to turn you off. You do not need to be consuming power. Okay. So that works. That'll pipe through. That tells me all of this will pipe through. And that gets us forward cargo hooked up to aft cargo, which is going to be important because our connectors to get into various grids are going to be back here. Dropping down, we're going to have 2 of them back here so that we can go either port or starboard. Makes it easier getting into some of the different bases, both the vanilla bases as well as modded. I think what we may end up doing is I may split. Actually, we may even just wrap it so that the armor squeezes in between here, so that this is actually being run on the surface of the ship. Yeah. Alright, so we'll worry about the skinning of it next time. I think that's going to do it for us for today. Yeah, I think the only other thing I would do up here is put Bob in either on the front or the second one. Maybe even put 2 Bobs in. That might not be a bad idea. I mean, I could even, if I wanted to really clean this whole thing up, what I could do is extend this area forward so that it actually comes out past this entrance. And like I said, we'd basically end up with like a mandible design on the front of the ship, which might not be a bad idea. All right, that's going to be your homework for tonight. Make sure you throw your comments down below and let me know, would you like to see mandibles on this thing? And just to give you an idea what we're talking about here, we're saying basically have a little bit of clearance on here, and I am completely out of steel plates. See, I'm trying to illustrate something and I forgot that I put all my plates away. Let's grab 1,000 plates because we can. All right. So what we're talking about here is having something that comes out, I don't know, some distance. We'll figure it out. We'll obviously sit down and look at it and see what looks good aspect ratio wise. Probably something a little bit longer. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. And then what we do is have, you know, a flat space of, I don't know, maybe say 5. And then we sweep it back like this. And we just basically rinse and repeat this as we need to. And just because, we'll go ahead and bring this forward. Not like we're not going to need to do this at some point anyway. I don't know if we... How close did I get that? Look at that, I actually got that pretty damn close. And so you end up with something that looks a little something like that on it. And like I said, obviously we will have it, you know, we'll smooth it out so that everything looks better. Probably actually bring that back too, so that, show you. I guess that is where it would end up, huh? Regardless of where we did that. So yeah, you basically end up with something like that, and it would have it on both sides. Of course, now that I'm looking at it, I kind of like it. Oh crud. And like I said, we will have armor on it, so that's going to be thicker. We may do some cutaway stuff, so you'll have some, maybe have like a skeletal side on the interior portion here, so that all the armor is exterior facing. You know, we're definitely setting the ship up to have the ability to have like cutaway sections for details and things. Like I said, though, right now we're just trying to get the general shape hammered out. But all right, so I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. Let me know, do you like it? Do you not like it? If you don't like it, give me some suggestions, right? For the Mandibles. Overall ship, yeah, I don't care if you it's my ship. Arr. Oh, anyway. Yeah, so when everything is said and done, this will be put up on the workshop for everybody to grab a copy, rip it apart, have some fun with it. I think what we need to do next is get a reactor on board. And so originally what I was saying was maybe have habitation, those two be habitation quarters. Because we were originally talking about 6 habitation quarters, 3 per side. And I'm thinking maybe we just do 2 per side. Because we're going to have the cargo over there, and I'm probably going to put another assembler in. Need to figure out, can we get away so we can put that in? Basic refinery, a full refinery, and we can put a basic refinery small block, which might not be bad. I knew we could do the big one, I didn't know if we could do this basic one. So what I may do is do a large refinery and then 2 basic refineries that feed into the large. Basically operate as a filter system for it. I could actually see that being something back here. So behind the bridge area, maybe have a refinery with the 2 basic refineries, and then we could run a line up through somewhere, or even just have it cut through the back here and loop up into wherever we need it to go. That could be interesting, actually. All right, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you and working on the ship. It's still a lot of work left to do, and we haven't even gotten through most of the interior build yet. So what we're planning on for next week, we're going to keep working on the overall floor plan of the ship. I would like to get most of it dialed in on Monday. So what I'm thinking is, now that we have the idea that for the assemblers and storage on the forward area, that Mandible design, which, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna keep it, but let me know if you have some ideas on it. Maybe you want to see it just squared off more rounded, less rounded, or you know, whatever. But I do think we're gonna have some kind of Mandible on both sides. We'll duplicate the 2 large cargo and the assembler on the forward section. And then I do believe we're going to put our reactor room back here. You will be a door here. And then 1,
energy low.
2, 3. Alright, so we'll have 1 door there. 1, 2, 3, and then another door here. I think 5 blocks is enough for that. It might be 6 blocks, I don't remember. But basically we're going to have a doorway here, a doorway there. Because you're 3 blocks, 4 or 5 blocks, yeah. So we'll have a doorway, small anti-chamber area with a second doorway. And then that leads us back into, what is that? That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go 9. Should be good. So we'll have 9 interior space. And then that'll be the wall. And what I'm thinking is that this will span maybe to here-ish. Oh, crud. Yep, one of those days. Okay. And it may actually end up being smaller than this. But it won't be bigger than this. And like I said, basically we're just trying to get it set up so we can get some power in here. One of the reasons why I'm putting in all of this space is that I'm expecting to put a bunch of thrusters down here for lift on both sides to span that gap area. And then we're going to have thruster arrays on both port and starboard side for main propulsion. Those may end up multiple stacked. I haven't decided yet. But that'll be for much further down the road. For now, we are going to get out of here. I want to thank you once again. Thank you all for stopping in. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you and chatting and, you know, getting some build on today. So, yeah, I think we got a lot done. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Alright, so I think what I'll do is we'll start working on the spacing for the reactor room and maybe start furnishing some of the habitation stuff just so we can get a better idea.